Hey everybody, and thanks for coming back for another puzzle. This time I have the Box of the Celts from Numbskull Puzzles. Numbskull Puzzles. I've been waiting about 2 months to get into this. I'm super excited to get into this. It is, as you can see down the bottom here, it says this puzzle is quite tricky and a lengthy solved, aimed at experienced solvers, so take your time and have fun. I think this is probably going to end up being one of the toughest puzzles that I've shown on the channel so far, judging by everything I've read on the Mechanical Puzzles Discord and hearing from the creator. So I'm really excited to get into this and show you guys what's going on in here. I suspect this is going to end up being broken up into multiple different parts as we progress, instead of trying to edit it into one video. Given how long I expect that this is going to take me. And it contains a whole bunch of different types of puzzles inside one puzzle. So we've got sequential discovery. I believe there's a tick in here. Maybe there's a burr. I don't recall if there is or not. There's a knot puzzle on the top here. So we've got our rules: no bending, especially for the knot, which is this here. Bending it may snap them, no force. Keep it away from heat. It is 3D printed, so you don't want it to go near heat, it might melt. No external tools. The paper label and there was a rubber band that was wrapped around like this, are considered external. They're small parts, so not intended for children. We've got some hints on the back if we need it. If you get stuck after opening the lid, he's got his email if we need some hints or encouragement. I'll put it up here if you want to reach out and buy one of these. Here's his email right here. So, like I said, I'm kind of itching to really get into this one. I just cannot wait. So, let's get our timer up here. Okay, or our stopwatch, I suppose. Here we go. All right. So we know that this knot puzzle on the top is likely the first one, but let's go ahead and explore the rest of it to see what may come after, or if there is something that comes before this, we can check it out. So as I was kind of setting up for this, I kind of noticed, you notice some things as this goes up and down, doesn't twist, and is actually, as I'm doing that, you can see the ring on the knot is right on the back. I'm going to call this the back. We'll call this little hook here, the front. You can see it's raising up and down just a little bit. On the base is going to rotate at some point. It does not at the moment. We've got Box of the Celts and Numbskull Puzzles on the bottom. And that is all we can determine at the moment. So let's just jump right into the knot puzzle here. Okay. So the ring is attached here. And we're going to have to remove the Celtic knot from the ring. And then maybe this pushes down. That's what I would suspect happens here. If it pulled out, we could just take it out. So we'll get even if we get the knot off, okay, so it does push down a little bit. So maybe, I see. So what it is, when you have the knot, if I can get it back in place, well, let's just pretend, okay. So it's preventing us from, you can see, I can push this down a little bit, see, like that, but the knot part is preventing us from pushing it all the way down. So once we get that off, we should be able to take the ring, put it in its slot here, and push it down, and then maybe that allows us to take the top off. I'm not sure, but let's be careful with it and try and get the knot off of here. So I'm not terribly good at these kind of puzzles, but I know we're just gonna kind of work it through. Sometimes, you know, you have to take, sometimes you got to put this through to advance. I'm just kind of guessing at this point. I know there's a strategy to do these, but I don't know what it is. So let's just see if we can, maybe we can figure it out. Maybe once we get a little closer, we'll notice okay, so we've got it here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. So I like I said, I think that's the next step, is putting it back, pushing down, and then that'll advance us. So let's see what we can do from here. I don't know if that's being forceful or not. I'm kind of pushing it down on it a little bit. I feel like that might be considered forcing. I want to push it. Maybe I can get it. I'm going to consider that no bending. I would think that would be considered bending. If I'm kind of pushing down on it a little bit to get it to pass through, I would consider that bending, I think. Okay. So I suspect this is going to be the hardest part for me. Okay, so we've got it here, so we need to get it to pass through here, over here, and then out. So to do that, we need to do it, oops, this way, then maybe through here like this. Okay. And then through like that. And now I'm back where I started. So do I go this one first? So that just kind of feels, it seems like a kind of a natural progression. You put this through, and then it just kind of feeds right through the ring here. And you put this one through, and then maybe you come down. That's bending. I just keep coming back to I'm just gonna keep going round and round in circles here. Okay, so we want to put 1 point through, and then the gap. It just kind of flows nicely. And then the second point just kind of comes through after that rather nicely. And then this is where we keep getting stopped. So can we if I could just rotate this just up a little bit more, then I could get this back through. And now we're back to, so maybe I wonder if I need to go through. So I've been trying point through first and then gap. So let's try gap first. And then point. Gap. Oop, okay. I think we're getting, okay, so we did advance. We advanced from here to here. So I think maybe if we do it again, so gap, point, gap, point. And now we're kind of stuck. So I do... Okay. So now maybe this time it's point, gap, that feels like it kind of wants to go through, but then there's nowhere for it to go. Alright, well, at least we've made it one step from this point to this point. And it seems like this might only go through one way. If you see, the cut is kind of angled, and it makes it fit, you can see, nicely. It kind of rotates through that gap nicely, like that, versus trying to kind of angle it through. Okay, now we're back here, so it goes gap, point, point. Now I'm just kind of circling through, so that doesn't do me any good. Then do we come gap? Okay, now we're back here, so we're making... Oh wait, now we're back at the beginning. Crud. Well, we were... If I can get it here, I wonder if I can get it here first. Okay, so now we've advanced. So gap, point, point, gap. Crud, I just keep going back to the beginning. So it goes gap, point, point, gap. Well, now I'm back at the beginning again. Okay, one step. So we finished with the gap. We started with the gap up here, finished with the gap. Now, if we start with the gap again, I think the only way that could take us is back to here. So now I think we need to start with the point. Double point. No, that doesn't help. So if we start with, let's see, put one point through, and then it should be gap. And then point. Now we're in the middle here. Gap. We're still back here. So I need to come through this way and over here. So through this way. I just keep going around in circles. I wish it didn't start with this. But I mean, what can you do? We're at 13 minutes so far. At least you guys won't have to like watch all this. It'd be nice to fast forward through it. Oh, can I put it through? No, that won't work. Ooh, yes! 1645 on that. Okay. So you can fit it in. Okay, so turning the bottom, you can see reacts with that pin. What about the top? Also kind of does. I wouldn't think pulling up does anything. The only thing I can see working here is pushing down, but once we get the circle in, it can't go down anymore. So they're obviously interacting with each other. When I pull this, you can see if I hold it down, probably won't be able to show you. Let's see. Pull it out a little bit. You can see it pulls. So this and this seem to be, there you go. So that's something upside down. I push this in. So the hints are only after you open the lid, which we have not done yet. I wouldn't think it has anything to do with this anymore, unless it's like magnetic. No. Obviously it's this, and it doesn't make sense that it would be pulling it up, because you can do that with the knot attached. The only thing you can't do with the knot attached is have it down. Let's say no force. No more force needed than snapping your fingers. A little tap never hurt anybody, though. I could see upside down being a thing, so that you have to keep it in. Some info we can glean by looking at the inside. There's some notches. We got, maybe not notches, channels we got going on in there. Seems to be a pin or something. What? Now it doesn't want to go up as far. So if you pull up on it, the lid doesn't separate nearly as far as if you have it down, which would make sense. So now what if I pull up on it and then when you have it up like this, you can't move this anymore. So it must be attached to something on this base section here. I don't want to. So how could that function? Has to be something with down. Then we can pull it up, but we can't do any sort of rotation. And there's a couple different So we have some, let's see if I can show it right here. Not sure if it'll show up. Like right, where is it? Right there is a vertical channel, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. These, from what I can tell, at least vertical channels. And then right here, we've got these big gaps right here. 2 smaller gaps here, and then 1 larger gap in the middle. Let's see, right here. And I can see that there is a core behind these gaps that is not moving while we're rotating this. On these vertical channels here, there's some notches on this piece that are inside them. Let's see if they all have. I suspect they do. Okay, so each of these vertical channels has a notch or a wedge that is inside them that is preventing us from rotating, which would make me think it's just opening it, because we cannot rotate this at the moment, at least, which lends an idea to either an internal maze or something different entirely. Especially because we can see back behind this here. Does this just pull off? This is somehow related to this. I can feel it moving under my finger when I turn it. We are at 26 minutes. I think at about half an hour we're going to take a break. I don't have all the time in the world to do this. You know, this is just a hobby. I do have family and such to take care of, but if you get people to subscribe and watch my videos, maybe it'll turn into something other than a hobby. I think we're only about 300 subscribers away from 1,000, which is where you, at the minimum, have an opportunity to be monetized. You still have to have a certain amount of watch hours. But get your friends to subscribe if you want to see some more content. And give me the time to certainly it's not just pulling on it. That felt like something just moved there, and I kept force on. Maybe it was just what if we just put it down like that instead of trying to to push in. If I push in and turn, nothing. I don't think there's anything else on the lid that would give us any sort of... No. It's just notched deep enough for this to fit in, and that's it. So there's no difference in rotation amount having this pulled up or not pulled up. And it doesn't, I don't think it just opens. And I would suspect that this is the lid. I mean, this very well could be the lid. And I don't think there's anything that says that that can't be true. We're just a hair short of 30 minutes, so we're going to take a break here. I am going to reach out to the creator to at least get a minor hint so that we're not stuck on this forever, because is this a separate piece? Yeah, I am going to get just a little hint off of him. I'm going to wait till it's exactly 30. Okay, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. We've done one step, which is moving this. Kind of have a general idea of what to do next. We just can't seem to advance. So we'll be back after we get a hint and see what we can do from there. Okay, so I reached out to the creator because we were not making any progress, and he gave me a hint. I gave him my thoughts first, and then as to how I thought all this interacted with each other. Then he wrote me back this: you're on the right track here with rotating the base. There's a slight trick here, but you've identified the components that interact with it. There's only so many moving parts within the puzzle at this point, so explore that. I will say that this step may be a tad tight. So my thoughts are that, let's get our stopwatch back up. My thoughts are that maybe when he says tight, this is just, it's screwed in here. It's just tough to rotate, tough to undo that screw. So we're gonna try that and see what happens. Okay, so we know that this is correct. That our I'm just gonna call this the lock is interacting with the base. You can see it moving like that. So what I think, I'm gonna turn it upside down. Give it a slight tap in case there's any pins that are also locking this in place. I might have to do it like this, actually. Like that. And now, hopefully, I don't want to turn too hard, but hopefully it just needs to be... Well, shoot. Let's see if we keep this separated. Will that... What if we pull up and turn? What if we push down and turn? Okay, well, shoot. I thought that was... There's a little bit of free play here. We can pull up and down. It's a tad tight, so what could that mean? And how could this possibly... How could it being down be the locking mechanism? Maybe it needs to be up first. Well, shoot. I thought that's where we were going with this. I'm just trying to think of how the internal mechanism here could work. If this is down, how could that unlock this? You would think that having a piece that goes down would go into this base and lock it in place. Let's try that. Our thoughts on the pins again. So I'm gonna give it a quick smack like this. I think it said no banging, but it does not. It just says no force. So give it a bang like this in case there's any pins. Let this part come. Still no. Okay, how could this interact? I wonder if I can hear anything going on here if I... There's definitely a little something right about here before it's all the way down and not all the way up, that I can... Something is happening. Well, now it doesn't have as much free play as it did. And you can see it was stuck in the up position. So if I rotate the base just a little bit, this will get stuck in any position. And if I put the base back to its set, then this drops down. So maybe when it's down, we rotate it a little bit, and that catches something, and then we use the ring to pull whatever that lock is out. So, okay. It's a little tricky. So I've got the base rotated just a little bit, hoping that if I pull up, it'll unlock. No. Well, it was an idea. At least it was an idea. We're trying as many different things as we can. I can't imagine how having this down would unlock this. I'm gonna try and see if I can hear anything again. Right there's just something is interacting with it. And what could he mean by tight? It has to be down, because that's the only thing that kind of makes sense. Otherwise, this whole first step would be completely pointless. Can't go down any further because the ring is here. And you can see it moving. There's a bunch of other stuff going on in here too. And I can't push it down anymore, as if there would be like a spring or something. And it doesn't just separate. Oh, now it's stuck in the up position. What was that about? So we can get it stuck in the up position if we rotate and then pull it up. Which means there's something that goes all the way through into the base here. Now I can't push it down at all. It must be pins. I can hear them. I don't know if it'll show up on the mic, but I don't want to like slam the ring into my hand. What could the trick be? Let's read his hint again. You are on the right track with rotating the base. There's a slight trick there, but you've identified the components that interact with it. There's only so many moving parts with the puzzle at this point, so explore that. I will say that this step may be a tad tight. Maybe a tad tight. Well, I exhausted my... Let's pinch my finger in there. I exhausted what I thought my idea was. So I'm going to reach out to him again and get another hint. We're at 40 minutes. I don't think there's... Again, I've said this a bunch of times. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting hints if you get stuck. Especially if you... like I said, if you exhaust what you believe your next steps are. So I'm going to get a hint, we'll see what he says, and then we will come back. Okay, so I reached out to the creator again because we were not making any progress, and he gave me another hint, and we were right there. We kind of had the right idea. There is a specific point on the height of this shackle that will allow you to unscrew the base. Now, I unlocked it, but I didn't continue. I was able to turn the base about an inch, and then I immediately reset it, so I don't know what is going to happen after that. So height of that shackle is actually right here. It's a little tough to get in place, and it allows you, there we go, to turn the base counterclockwise like that. And that's all I know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything that is going to occur after that. So let's get our stopwatch going. Okay. And I think after we take the base off, maybe that'll be the end of part 1. And then we'll continue in part 2. It did turn, didn't it? Oh, okay, now this is the original position. Okay, now we just turned it. And that's it. Does the shackle come out? I turn it. Any more? What if I keep some pressure on it and turn it? Is that gonna... I don't want to break it. That's kind of tough to... Okay, so all we've managed to do is turn it. Now I can't even get it to go back. Now it won't go back. Does it have something to do like with being upside down, right side up? Interesting. I have to pull up on the lid. Let's see if I can get it to go back at least. So a little bit of pressure down. Okay, now we're back, so at least we can reset it. Okay, so now I'm gonna find that point. Okay. Now, what if I don't turn it all the way? Ah, whoa. Okay, so if you don't turn it all the way, the shackle comes out. And now this rotates freely. With the shackle out, I'm assuming that this is going to... Yep. Doesn't come out yet, though. Here's that cutout it's like a W shape. And our vertical channels that we saw comes out a little bit further on this side. The shackle is, so it seems the shackle is what's locking it in place. We have a freely rotating base. This pulled up, and that's kind of all we have to work with at the moment. So like I said, I'm going to call that the end of part 1. Alright, so what we know is that our base can rotate, we can lift it up, and we have our shackle here. I don't want to relock it by accident because that was kind of tough to... I'm going to look down inside of our W cutout here and see what we can see. Okay, there's a lot going on in here. Okay, so here's our shackle, which is a C shape. And that's why there must have been that's why there was that specific location where the shackle had to be for this to unlock. So it had to rotate through that. Do I have a piece of paper? I'm always not having paper for some odd reason. So our shackle looks like this, pretty straightforward. So when it was down, when this gap was down here, there must have been a, so if we have it like this on the base here, there's some sort of additional disc like this that can only rotate through this gap. That's why there's a specific height that you have to have it at. And if we do more drawing, I'll find something better to draw with. But let's see what else we can see on the inside here. So there's a center cylinder that is hollow. There's a white something. I have no idea what that's going to be. And then the shackle is around It's just kind of looped through this piece. There's a spring right there. It's kind of tough to tell with just my phone. I wish I had a better... There's not a good angle to see it anyway. So there's a spring right here that's pushing on a piece that is going through that shackle, actually. So it's going through... Let me... I know I have a good pen around here. And I'll do my best to draw what I believe is happening on the inside. Of course I can't find it. That would make too much sense, wouldn't it? Ah, here you are. Okay. So. This shackle. I'm going to redraw it. Let's get a new side here. So here's our shackle. And it's actually kind of pointed like this on each side. I'm not sure if that makes a difference with the solve, but that's just how it is. Now, it is looped through this other piece that looks like... Let's see if I can figure out how to draw this. Looks like this. So we're looking at it like this way. So there's a cutout here and a cutout here, and it's solid right here, and this is looped through it. And then here, I'm gonna turn and draw it sideways. So here's our arch with the. So I've kind of turned it sideways like this. There is it almost looks like a cylinder that's running through this. It's got a little vertical piece that has a triangle coming off of it like this, and then there is a spring right here. I don't know. That makes sense to me. I mean, I realize it's not a great drawing, but that's what's going on in here. So we've got this cylinder type piece, this vertical triangle shaped piece, and the spring is pushing that into this piece, of which the shackle is locked around. Then there's that white piece down there, but that doesn't look to be relevant at the moment. That's all I can see. I don't think, yeah, there's no way to like reach inside there. So somehow we have to free this shackle up from this piece. And then that should allow us to take the whole lid off. And then we can go from there. So I think if we wonder if I can squeeze it. Yep. Okay, so if I squeeze it, can I get it underneath? So what I'm trying to do is squeeze the top part so that this isn't going to be, so that it comes down into this opening here. Ignore this. So that it comes down into this opening, so that both pieces are running through the same gap. And then that should allow us to just pull this straight off. And then, so if I squeeze it and push down, pull up. No. Oh. So that spring piece is right here. Right there. So that spring is this spring right here, and you can see I don't know if it'll show up. You can see that vertical piece, there you go, that spring is pushing on, and then there's another vertical piece that's on the other side of the spring back here. Now, is there a way for us to interact with this? I feel like... Oh, okay. If I could pull this spring piece back, then I should be able to free up that cylinder. So if I can pull this backwards, I should be able to free up this piece and pull it up with the shackle, which will allow me to take the lid off. And I think with the design of the cutout here, I can use this. Yep, it fits in there just right. And then we grab it, pull on it, and okay, so now the shackle is up, and then that didn't do anything. I think that's the right move though, is to grab it with this and pull it so I can, oh, so let me see if I can see what happens while I'm pulling on it. I think it's going to be very, very challenging because it's such a small... If I had a smaller flashlight. I'd like to just know if I'm pulling, you know, if I had a more directional flashlight instead of just my phone, this would be a heck of a lot easier. Is this further up now? Now I can't pinch it. Wait. Is this further up? Maybe not. I gotta get some better flashlight for this. Okay. Now we've got it fully open on this side. So we pulled it, and now I hope it didn't, like, surely not. I've now compressed this piece up against this piece. That spring is no longer pushing it in, so it must have... haha! So somehow, when this goes up and down, it is preventing that piece from going back in, so we want to pull it so it locks in place, and then hold on to the shackle, I think. We did have it further. We definitely did. Okay, let's put it in. Grab and pull and lift up. There we go. So you got to grab and pull and lift up. And does it rotate now? So the shackle is still holding it in place. But you can see that these two pieces are now compressed against each other, which is actually preventing the shackle from going down. So now that they're compressed, let's see what changed inside here. Yeah, so it pulled this cylinder out from this piece. So it has something to do with the base. So it's something with the shackle. Now can I squeeze it? Now that I've pulled that, can I squeeze it and pull up? What can we see in this direction? So there's that. It's attached to... I don't think it'll pull back any further. The only thing that's preventing me from taking this off is the shackle. Oh, can I move it this way? This is somewhere you definitely don't want to be rough, because it'll for sure break. I can't rotate it. All I can do is just kind of tilt it like this. I wonder if it's the ring that's preventing it. I can take my ring out now. It was the ring. So the ring was... We had the ring in here, and it was the ring that was pressing up against the shackle that was preventing me from taking it out. So after we get our shackle all the way up by pulling on that spring, we take our ring out, and now we can take the lid all the way off. Doesn't appear to be anything else here. And here's the diagram of what I was talking about. Or this is the diagram, I mean. This is what I was talking about. So we have our vertical piece with the triangle. The spring is right there. Our shackle is through this thing. And we pulled this out. And if we push it back down, it'll go back in. We still can't get the shackle out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this piece is being held in place by the shackle, and if we can get it to come out. Come on. Now why can't I pull this in now? Uh-oh. There we go. It was up against this here, and then once you get it all the way up, it goes through this one. Okay. So now what? Oh, here's that white piece I was talking about. It's another one of these. So our base rotates fully still. These look like, these are like slotted together. That one moves. Okay. Is there something else with this? Does this come all the way out? I suspect no. So we have these wall pieces here. 3 of them move. Just kind of back and forth. They don't go up and down just yet. I don't see anything moving with the base, but looking down in here, we have this keyhole looking thing. It kind of looks like this. Should fit right in there and push on something. There's a horizontal bar that has a small channel in it that this looks like it should fit in. It doesn't push though. It doesn't go side to side. Wonder if I can rotate it. No, probably not, because there's two cutouts. That would prevent me from rotating it. I think it did. Did it? Ah, it does rotate. But it only goes so far. Now does it allow... So it rotates a little bit. But you can only rotate it so far because of these. So it's just that, and that's it. I think this was the lock position. Well, the initial position at least. So now that's our, I'm just going to call it the unlock position. That's as far as it can. Does it allow this to come off? No. Wonder if there's something down inside the shackle hole that we can see. What's that? There's a magnet, I think, right there. Maybe now that I did that in the unlock position, I need to put this back in and do something. Let's see, it goes this way. Oh, now I can't get it back in. That's strange. Oh, because of this. Oh, now we're just going backwards. Let's not do that. Uh-oh. Well, now I think we went all the way back. Whoopsies. There we go. Okay, I think we're done with putting that back, and we've set that into what I'm calling the unlock position, which I would have thought would have allowed something to happen here. Does this pull out? Oh, I thought maybe this middle section pulled out. Kind of looks like it should. Independent of, we've got this gray piece right there, just at the tip of our Celtic knot. Maybe let's rotate it back and just see if anything changes. Okay, so this is very tight, but if we unlock it, oh no, it's still the same tightness. Just out of curiosity, where are we? An hour 10. I wouldn't expect it has anything to do with this. No, because that doesn't come any further past the back surface of this here. It's got to be something with these walls. Okay, so these walls are stuck in place because of this piece with the Celtic knot on it. This wall is the only one that is free to move. Oh, and this one. Oh, whoa, okay. So we this was our lock position. Yep. So we stuck our tool in here, unlocked it, and that allows us to pull this piece out, and probably totally out. This is going to be tough to keep track of, I think. So you can see that piece that I turned was slotted into here. So let's just pretend this is it. It was slotted in here like this, and when I turned it, it came out like that, and allows me to pull this out. So now does this rotate, or does it come out? Which piece is next, now that we did that? So this one has this. So this piece and this piece are underneath this, I'm going to call it a lid, this lid here. This one, however, has its own separate piece that is not underneath that lid. Or at least, well, not fully. What if I turn it back? Oh, it just fell out. So here's the piece that was, so it was locking it like, it's got a little cutout on the bottom. So this is facing up, and we're turning it like this. And it was inside here like this, and then we turned it so that the two channels were no longer aligned, and it allows us to pull it out like that. And then we tilted it, and this came out. And now we're going to have a lot more going on here. Okay, so now this one can come up. Can we move this yet? Nope. This one can come up. Oh, there's an internal maze on that piece there. So do I have to move it through this maze? It doesn't turn. It wants to. Any of these other pieces? Oh, this one comes up just a little bit. Can I turn it? Am I gonna have to like work all of these pieces at the same time? Like kinda, that's gonna be very challenging. Okay. Oh, it did. Now it's locked. Why is it locked? I'm not going to be able to turn it to the counterclockwise because this piece is in the way. But I can turn it clockwise through what I'm suspecting are these internal mazes here. This is going to be incredibly difficult to... Oh, okay. It moved like a step. Or a half a step maybe. So now you can see there. So now can I take this out? Oh, this is a separate piece from this one. So I think I'm going to have to work all three of these pieces at the same time. You can see we've moved just a hair, which is why this one and this one is not going down. And I can pull this one up a hair. Now do I go... Okay, so it's just going to be a very step-by-step kind of thing. Little by little. We might be able to I'm going to draw this maze out so that at least I can... I'm going to call this piece number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Piece number 3. At least draw out what I can see. So we've got like this, and then you guys will be able to see what I'm looking at as I do this. Like that, and this comes over. Okay, so that's what I can see on that piece. This piece, I can't see anything aside from a small, like that. And piece 1, we can't see anything at all. So it's like a dexterity combined with a maze. Okay, so now, and so I have no clue what's going on down here. Now if I pull this up, I should be able to go back a step, right? I would think would be the way. So if I went counterclockwise 1 step, which freed up this, my thoughts are now I can pull this up and go, or I went clockwise to get to this step, I mean, go counterclockwise, and go down on this one. Okay, what can we see on this one? Nothing as of yet. I wish that piece would come out just to give me a little bit more. So, because actually I can only, does that stay down? No, it's like attached to this piece. Not attached, but it's like part of it. Okay, there's our first step. And I can't go any further. And I can't go, like if I pull this up, I can't come, I only have just a fraction of a, okay, so this piece, there's a little piece coming off of it that is stuck inside this piece. This is, I need like another person helping me with this. Damn it. Okay. There's our first step, which allows me to pull this one up. But I cannot go backwards once I pull this one up. So I have to somehow, and I keep going forward. Clockwise, that is. Oh no, so the piece that's coming off, I think this is once it's supposed to come out now. There it goes. There it is right here, which was sitting inside this. So now I'll be able to bring this all the way back over here counterclockwise to continue continue working through the maze. Okay. Yep. Now I should, once I lift this up, I should be able to go counterclockwise. So this piece, so it's got that little nub right here, which was holding this in place. And then it goes like this. Ignore that, it goes right here. And then I can see there's a thing right here. And that's all I can see. So I should, theoretically, be able to go, now that I pulled it up, go backwards. I can't. Unless now it's like this piece and this piece, or this piece and this piece. So the first two was this piece and this piece to allow me to turn it one step counterclockwise. Now, is it if I had to guess, it's this piece again, since it has the most maze. Did that go back? No. And what's that about? And what's this gray piece? This one, and this one are in place. They're printed as part of the I can only pull this up a step. When that goes over a step. But then once I pull it up, I'm unable to go backwards. That's it. That's all that does. And that is all I needed to free this piece up. So I would have thought that now having this up would allow me to continue turning it. Unless, is it a certain position? Ah! There's something else moving in here. Oy, oy, oy. Alright, where are we at here? Almost an hour and a half. I'll give it another 5 minutes till we get an hour and a half. We have an idea of what it is we're supposed to do. I wouldn't expect it has anything to do with this. Maybe it does. It looks like it should just go back. Ah, now it went back a step. So it just involved pulling this one up and not this. Oop. There, not this one or this one. Now can I pull this up? Crud. Okay. So we came back a hair, but I still can't. Now can I pull this up and down? No. Like if I was here maybe, well, could I pull it up? But no. Or can I push down on it? Can I push down on any of these pieces? We definitely went back a step. You can see. Right there, because it gets stuck. But nothing else seems to react. And I can't. I wonder if there's a second. So I have to reuse one of these tools somehow. Does it have something to do with the base? No, nothing to do with the base. Somehow I gotta pull all three of these pieces out, which will allow me to pull this out. And then something from there. That seems like it's getting caught in a trap because it only moves like sort of this distance here. So it feels like there's just a trap right here that it's going into. And that's why we can't do anything else. So there must be another point that it can and when this one is up it cannot go counterclockwise, only if this one's down. What are we at? Alright, that's an hour and a half. I think that's enough for now. We have an idea of what to do. Just can't seem to do it. Yeah, I mean, we made good progress. Got this off, figured out how to do this, got these 4 tools, or pieces, I don't know if they're tools, pieces out. Let's stop it here. We will. Oh, now they're all up. Oh, hello. Just by turning it upside down. Thought we had something. I'd like to know what that's about. Why is there a little... Right here, there's a small little cutout, but this piece didn't have a cutout on it. Doesn't appear to go anywhere. It just seems to be there. Oh, it's a channel for this thing to rotate in. Alright, we'll come back. Alright, so I got a better flashlight. I'm going to see if I can maybe see what's happening down at the bottom of these, or further in, maybe, you know. Okay, so this one, number 2, does this. Maybe it'll let me see. You know, kind of give me a hint as to how I need to manipulate this. I'm going to redraw number 3 because I had drawn some things of what I thought was happening. So... Okay, so that's what I can see without the flashlight. And then comes down like this, and there's a little cutout here. It's very challenging. There's still a lot of shadow. Okay, so this goes down and over like that, and then down again. Well, that's the furthest that I can see on that one. Number 2, I saw that. Number 1. It was what, this and this to get it to rotate back, or was it this? And why doesn't, oh, there it goes. How did we get this back a step? And also, what I thought was a channel down here that ran all the way around is actually just a small indent. There's got to be something we do with that, because this is the piece that was there, but it doesn't have... It doesn't have a little indent on it, or an extra piece to fit in that. I can't remember how we got this one to come up. Was it this and this? So our starting point is with the tip of this facing right at the slot there. Is there anything down the back that I can glean? Probably not. Anything like down inside here? I gotta figure out how to get this to go back. We did have it, and now I don't recall how we did it. There, okay. Our starting point is pointing at this gray piece, more or less, which kind of looks like a padlock. And that allowed us to come over a step and take this out, right? Does this fit back in there? Yeah. Which, oh, now it goes up. Now let me see if I can see what's going on deeper inside number one here. Nothing. Definitely, now that I can get this one to come up a step, I definitely need to okay. So if we can get it to go up a step, logically, we should be able to come one more this way or come back this way. Yep. It's very challenging to turn it upside down and see if use gravity to my advantage. I don't think it has anything to do with the oh, does the whole thing? Is that it? I think the whole centerpiece pulls up. Okay. Now I got number 3 to go back down, while number 1 and 2 are up. Crap. Okay, so I've got 1 and 2 up, and I'm pulling on the turning piece and pushing back a little bit, and now number 3 went all the way down. But now 1 and 2, 1 can go back down, and then 3 just comes back up again. So there's some sort of pattern here. Ah! Okay, so we got 1 up a step, 3 went all the way down, and I get 3 It definitely has to do something with getting 3 down. Okay, so I slightly pulled up on the centerpiece, and that allowed 3 to come all the way down. But now I can't. There's definitely some sort of point in number 3 that'll allow me to continue turning this, and I just can't find it. This is very challenging to manipulate too. I can see the slice, the bottom of this. That's in the maze. It needs to go over another step. Maybe it's with number 2 that I'm messing up. So Okay. So that slice is right there. This needs to come this way to put it back in this channel here. But I can't get it to. If I can go up just a hair. Okay, now it's in that. Now it's in this channel here. So like right, it needs to be, still needs to come counterclockwise a step. Like right here, it should allow me. I need to get that piece into this channel here. I wish I had more of an idea what was going down on in number 2. There's the, I can see that piece. So there's 3 juts coming off this center. We can do the first step, and then we just can't. Let's see if there's some sort of hint here that can help us. Oh, it's just text. It says, stuck on me. Oop. I'm going to just paste it into a Google Doc. Stuck on maze, try looking elsewhere. Okay. I'm not sure where else we can look. What's going on there? How the heck did I get this piece out? Goes in like this. I don't think it has anything to do with that. And we got this piece out. There's that little cutout there, which doesn't extend anywhere besides right there. Is there something we can... I mean, it doesn't look like a button anyway. What about this gray thing? Is that... Can I, like, push it? Oh, it pushes down! It went down just a hair. Let's see if I can get it to go all the way down. Maybe that has something to do with unlocking the maze. I don't even know how you would reset that once we... It went down just a hair. I don't know if it'll show up, but it doesn't go down any further. Maybe, okay, maybe I have to manipulate this, and then at each stage it'll let me push it down a little bit further. Let's find out. Okay, so there. Oh, that fell back in. Okay, now I gotta keep pressure on it here. But I can't get this in here with the white piece in the way. So, dang it. Okay. Now I can pull this one up. That must be it. As I'm able to move this point out of the way, I'll be able to push down on it. Okay, so now if I pull this up, if I can get this to go back a step past the gray thing, I should be able to push it down. But that's where that's where we're running into problems. Oh, it just went down again. And then it kind of pushed back up a little bit when I did that. Maybe it didn't go down again. It has to go back a step. It has to. It doesn't make sense that it wouldn't because of how we've drawn this maze. Ay, ay, ay. Let's take a look at the second one. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. It says... Oh, I didn't copy it. Wait a second. QR code scanner on here is very sensitive. It says, still stuck on maze, maybe a little light would help. Yeah, but we were already don't think there's anything else we can see. We've mapped the internal mazes as best we can, I think. From what we can see. Oh. Now this is stuck here. I think that's... Can I push this down again? Ah! Is that a separate... I need to go one more step to the right. Dang it. What's the third clue? It says, when gray square is visible, the maze is still locked. Okay, so we were right there that this needs to push down, but it won't go down. So it's something to do with the base. I would think not. I think we're done with the base. I guess that's why the gray square has a little lock symbol on it, but if it doesn't push down, Now it went down again. So am I needing to manipulate? I think we're going to have to take a break here. 2 hours and 10 minutes. This is one of the longest puzzles we've... I was able to push it down. Does it have... Oh, it does have something to do with the base. When we hold it up and kind of pull down on the base a little bit, I'm able to push it down a step. So maybe there's certain points. I'm going to apply pressure to it, and this is very, very challenging. Apply pressure to it and rotate the base. That didn't do anything. Okay, well, we're going to take a break. There's something down in there. This flashlight sucks. What is that? There's this flashlight is terrible. Okay, this must be the initial locking position. And then when I rotate it, that looks like a button almost. I wonder if that's somehow related to the... So, looking top down in this disc, we've got cutout here, which I think is the original locking position that this was stuck in. And then over here, somewhere over here, there is... this flashlight is terrible. There's another cutout similar to here, but then underneath it there's another little piece like this, and it's separate from this disc. I just replaced the batteries in this thing too. And it seems like it's almost dying. I had this other little one that I got from a jewelry shop, but it's been sitting in my car for like a decade and it never... Let's see if I can see in there with my lights. There. That looks like a button. You see that? Ooh! Ah! Ah! Look! It's a button! Let's take this back out so we can analyze this. Okay. So, we've got this little arc piece that is in this here. It's got a magnet that's holding it up against this. And here's our, okay, here's our initial, let's see. We'll get back to this in a second, but now I want to go back to the initial locking condition, which was this. Wait, is that right? Something to this effect. It was in one of these two. And that's why there was a particular height that this had to be at. I don't think we were kind of close. This was our original drawing. This was the disc we were looking at. And this is how we figured it was working. So we were kind of close, but we have a vertical piece and a horizontal piece. And this is what he was talking about, fine-tuning, making sure that this that the gap there isn't too big, that you could just kind of solve it real quick, or not too small that you can't even get it out. So let's just assume that this one is the initial locking condition. You have to get that in the perfect height while adding pressure so that it rotates. Come on, rotates through without going too far into the next lock, and then you can pull it up and do this part. Now we have, so this is inside here. How was this button keeping it in place? How was the button keeping it in place? So it was in like this. If I can get it back in there, with the magnet keeping it up, and then we use that tool to push down on it. Ah, I see. So it was in here like this. Well, this way, I guess. And which is why we couldn't rotate it. So this has to be perfectly lined up here to pull it out. If you rotate it this way, well, I guess you still can. Then how does this... This was in here like this, and we could rotate it, and we put it into this position here, And that allowed us to push down on it, which then allowed us to take the base off. But how was it? I don't understand how. Like, why that little piece prevented. I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything. I'm not sure I understand how this locks. There's no like angles inside this channel here. Interesting. So we pushed down on it. I'm afraid I don't understand how. Come on. Why is this stuck? There we go. How this lock works. I don't get it. But let's move on. Here's our gray piece, which I think we should be able to pull out with this. Ta-da! Now, that means that our maze is unlocked. And this, there must be, on this wheel, there must be a piece that was bumping up against it like this, preventing us from rotating it. Now this one is further up. So this one, we're on one. That's all I can see there. This goes further down. I think this is going to be something we have to do upside down, at least partially. This is going to be very challenging though, I think. Working this through 3 separate mazes at the same time. I mean, once we're able to draw them all out, we should be able to figure it out. Now, why won't this one go back down? Okay. So starting here, if we go one step to the left, it allows us to pull this one up. This isn't going to make for good solving, but I think I'm going to need to do this upside down. At least until I can get like one more step. And then this, I can see now it does this. I still can't, oh, now we got the second one up. So the second one does, and then we've got a T shape here, like this, which then comes back in like this. Okay, and then this comes down and goes over and down. This comes down like this. Okay. There's definitely going to be some back and I think so. I need to get this piece up and over and down here, And this one's going to be the funky one, I think, because of all the dead ends it has. Ah, crap. Now I'm back at the beginning. So I need to continue going counterclockwise. Well, now I'm back at the beginning. Dang it. Okay, so that's our first move for sure. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, this one's the funky one. So then it steps over again, down, steps back, down. We've almost got this one all the way out. We've got this almost all the way over here. just want to take this one out. If I can get this one out, it'll be a hell of a lot easier to work through 2 mazes instead of 3. We're very close. Okay, this one, this notch is here in this cross piece. That's why I'm able to slide it all the way down. We're right there. You're right there. Only about a move away. I can tell. So there's an exit on each of these pieces. If I can, I'm right about to get this one out. If I can just get our core to rotate one more step this way, the nub will come out right here. And this probably does like this. I'll be able to take this one out. You can see the exit right there. I needed to go one step. And I'll take this one out, and then it'll make it a heck of a lot easier to solve the rest of this. Okay, one more step. Okay. One more step. I think I effed up and I'm back in the somewhere in here. Now I can't even get this one to come on, just one step. One step is all I need. And I like have to go Okay. It's time to take a break. Alright, let's see how close we were on our drawings here. I think we had it dead on. Almost. We got this one a little bit. I mean, we're close here. This one. Got it. A little bit off here. This one was a little, this is a little wider here than I, other than that. Ah, F yeah. God, that feels good. Okay, now this should come out. Okay. We still have more in here. There's... Oh, sorry, that just feels amazing. This kicked my ass. Even with drawing it, it was still very challenging to navigate through this whole thing. Okay, so now we've got some other pieces in here. They don't want to just come right out though. That's interesting. What's that about? That's got a little lip on it. Okay. So this piece here and this piece here, let's see if it'll show up. This one and this one have an extra piece that's coming off of it that goes underneath the printed part here. And we never did figure out what this little divot is for. That doesn't fit in there. So how can we, do we have to like separate them? This one wants to come up. So the middle one, this like T-shaped one, this is going to be tough to, comes up. So I think this is like kind of like a packing puzzle type of thing, where you have to manipulate the pieces through like rotating them. This is not going to look good on camera just because I'm using gravity for my I feel like this one should go under this piece when I pull it up, but it doesn't want to. Does it push down? There's also on the back of this wall here, there's a small little cutout that I can see. And this T piece has another piece coming off of it down further in that's going into this. So yeah, somehow we have to like rotate and move these pieces around underneath each other, over top of each other. Is there anything else down inside the puzzle that can... Oh. So that cutout is actually goes all the way through. Like I can stick this in there. But I can't do anything with it. It does open it. Once the T piece comes up though, or maybe it doesn't. It's so hard to tell with this flashlight. I changed the batteries and it's still not great. Okay, yeah. Once this T piece comes up, it opens up that hole in the wall there, but I can't, nothing like fits in it. Is there anything on the bottom of this? No. Oh, so there was actually 5 nubs coming off of this, and we were navigating these 3 through the maze. Wait, this one, and this one. This one was locked. That's what I was talking about way earlier in the video when this was not turning, because it was bumping up against, let's see, it goes this way, bumping up against the gray piece, this nub. And then these 2 outside nubs were just to hold it inside the walls here. Okay. Oh. There's also a hole in the wall behind this piece here that I can see something white. Wonder if that's our final token. Oh, I think, guys, I think we are like right at the end. And I can stick this in there, but it doesn't do anything. I think we are right at the end. If I can get these 3 pieces out, then I think we've got it. But how do they interact with each other? And we know how they interact with each other. It's just the actual, come on. And we still don't know what this is for. It doesn't, it's just an indent. Is there anything on the wall? So we have these 2 cutouts in the wall, a white something down there. These pieces are all tied to each other, and that's kind of all we have to work with. I feel like they should slide underneath each other for this to... What will be the point of the cutouts? If not to stick something in it. This damn flashlight. So this T piece, like I said, has another piece coming off of it that is under this small arc piece. And this small arc piece can't come out because it has a piece that goes under the wall. You can see it right there. And then this other little wedge piece also has so the T comes up. Which then I would have thought then is something, since it opens up the hole in the back here. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I guess I can try and put this in, but I don't think that's going to work. Those holes have to be in the wall for a reason. Does this go like down? Wait a second. And what's with the cutout there? Nothing fits in there, and it does not. As I've said this like probably a dozen times already. It's not a button or anything. It's just a cutout. And I wonder what if the shape in the wall has anything to do with it. So it looks like this. Both of them look like that, with that angled, with the point at the top. It looks like I should be able to manipulate something on this one. There's like there's a gray and a white. There's something on the, what was that? And what's up with that hole? There's a small little hole here on the inside of this. Maybe that's just a printing error. Yeah. There's this magnet. Oops. Oh, I wonder if the magnet has something to do over here. And like maybe that, no, well, it was a shot. As if the cutout, oops, there was a magnet like inside that cutout. Oh, this T-piece shifted over. And this one shifted down. Unless, oh, something happened here. Now they're no longer flush. What? So the T came to the left a little bit, and then the arc piece went down a level. It's below the T somehow now. Did I manipulate something back here by accident and I didn't realize it? And now they're back even again. Interesting. So how the heck did that happen? So we did make a move somehow. Oh. Oh. The the T piece, or the arc piece, went backwards. So now I should be able to pull the T out. How the heck? So was this like this? Okay, so there's a gray arc piece at the bottom that goes all the way around, but is now stuck. I think we're done. Wait, there's a skull. I think we're done. Did we do it? I think we did it. Holy shit. Holy crap. So I think this is our... It doesn't say anything about what the final prize is. But we've got this skull. Beautifully 3D printed. So the skull must have been living back here. I feel like that's the only place, yeah, that's the only place it could fit. How the heck were these all intertwined? So let's see. This was on the bottom. And then this one was in here like this. This one was here, and this one was here. Was it like... Was it like this? Something like this? I don't, I'm not sure I understand 100% how this one was set up. But we did it. We did it. We got our skull. We did it. I'm not going to reset this right now. I mean, that would just be insanity. How many pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Wow. Wow. Holy smokes. 3.5 hours is what we finished on. I think that was the longest puzzle I've ever done. I'm going to have to ask the creator how to reset this part at least, because I just got lucky in that it kind of like fell out on me, and I still don't know what that indent is for, if anything, and we didn't kind of figure out how these walls, maybe they were just to show that there were other pieces. Fabulous, absolutely stunning. This might be the best puzzle I've ever solved, frankly, just because of how much went into it. You got your maze, you got the knot, a couple different tools, shackle, buttons, magnets, whatever you want to call this, like a packing puzzle, kind of. So it's sequential discovery with this. I can't even say enough. I can't even get the words out to say how freaking awesome this puzzle is. 100% recommend getting it if you have a chance. I've left the link to the Mechanical Puzzles Discord down below. You can find it in the upcoming puzzles channel. It is in there. You might have to scroll back a little bit to find it, but it is in there. 100% recommend, 100% all day. Buy it. So check out the Mechanical Puzzles Discord. Don't forget about Moonplay Cosmetics. Don't forget to get your 20% off at midnight CBD. that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.